Hello everyone, and welcome back for the final time to my dream mid-century modern home. Last time, we completed the furnishing of the ground floor, from the hallway to the reading nook, and the main bedroom and bathroom. Today, we're moving to the first floor and finishing the final rooms, including the dining and living room area, the kitchen, and the guest bedroom. Let's get into furnishing. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to sadly the final part of my dream home, mid-century modern edition. I say sadly because I really enjoy creating this build and introducing my channel this way, and I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's shown their support. I do really appreciate it, and it's inspired me to create even more builds, especially with the new EP pack coming up. This Scandi World is right up my street, so I have some things in mind. You'll also notice that I switched up my camera just so it's a bit more proportionate while I'm building, although having my face this big is very scary, as is the state of my UI, which we'll see shortly. Since the last update, my Better Build Buy is out of date, so I'll manage. And in the last part, we finished the ground floor, so I finished finishing off the ensuite. And at the end of this part, you'll also see myself and my partner Vin in sim form, which I'm excited for, so keep watching. So I'll show you the bathroom first, and then we'll move on to the upper floor. So as you can see, I finished finishing off the ensuite bathroom. It looks quite similar to the main bathroom, but I'm really happy with how it came out. I didn't want to do too much, and I wanted there to be some consistency, so at least when you're looking from this floor, it's not some crazy different color. And I also know that when you add too many wallpapers to a build, it does slow things down along with mirrors. So I will definitely keep that in mind because this will be on the gallery at the end of this part. So, oh, before I forget, which is ironic because I did forget in the last part, I left this chair floating, so I've changed that now, so that was a rookie error again. But I'm happy with how this floor turned out. There was no other amends that I made, so let's excitedly move up to the first floor. So we'll start first in the hallway. I've just added another column, and they've got these really great floor-to-ceiling windows, which lets in a lot of natural light. So this kind of main area will be the dining area. So I just added it to a platform just so that it broke up the room because it's quite a big space. And then here they'll be broken up with different kind of seating zones. I had this in mind where there was a main sofa for the TV, a few chairs, and then maybe like a reading extension to the downstairs. I've pulled out this clean bookshelf from Harry, which actually works with the windows really nicely, just so there's some industrial elements to this room. But there's, as I mentioned in the last part about the overhead lighting, there is really soft lighting in this room. I will add more lamps though as we go, but the floor-to-ceiling windows really work with the light engines, so really happy and excited to see how this room shape turns out. And then we'll move on to the galley kitchen. Now, I think if you remember last time, we had the wall that was straight down here, but I thought maybe a bump out would be useful here just so I can add a bit more storage room and then create a bit more interest in this guest room. I've chosen a green, so in the last part we had this deep blue, and I've kept with that kind of neutral tone and pulled out that really beautiful wood paneling. And also we have a little upstairs shower room, wet room, however you call it. I thought maybe let's start off things in the main hallway, since there won't be that much crazy stuff here, but I did want to add a bit of greenery just to break up the wood and this painted brick. So if I can figure out where everything is, oh gosh. So apparently the indoor plant is a violin in this section, so I'll keep that in mind. I wanted a plant that was maybe just slightly elevated, thinking maybe a standing plant. And I'm also trying to mix as well with CC and from the catalogue, just so it's not all CC. And I think this one might quite work actually. It might just tone you down in a black, just to play off the window. And then, oh, let's try and not get you stuck in the wall. Nice. And then I think I was adding, because there's quite a skinny kind of hallway here, I was thinking of adding a leaning painting. I've got some really nice pieces that I've pulled out from CC, and I was thinking maybe a leaning painting here and then kind of like a hallway table or something. So let me try and figure out where the artwork is. So I managed to find some artwork eventually. I'm going to switch to this view because it seems a little bit easier. But I really like this piece from the living room kit, and it works with all the tones that we've got going in the room. It feels quite modern at the same time as kind of working with that mid-century modern vibe. And I'm thinking here of adding an accent table. I know we have that mid-century modern one that Peacemaker made for the game itself, and I think that really works in this tone actually. Let's try it in a black. No, it looks a bit too harsh. Oh, I'll keep it in that wood tone actually. And let's add a lamp. I think I'd like a low one. Maybe you're quite good. No, you're too big. Thinking this works actually. The Calderon pack from Pt.3 Sim. Try and find a better color though. That olive one works. I'm just trying to mix up the tones so it's not all the same here and there, but I like how that one looks. And let's add a little bit of greenery. I think I would have quite a lot of potted plants everywhere in my dream home. I'm thinking of this one from the Greenhouse Haven kit, just because it's quite small and not too overwhelming for this table. And let's finish things off with some books. Okay, I found some decorational books from the living room kit. I might just size you down though because you're a little bit too big. Maybe change the tone. Yeah. I think that's all the detail I need really for this area. It's a hallway at the end of the day, but nice bit of artwork, a little bit of lighting. Let's see what it looks like. Very low moody lighting, as I mentioned in the last part. Nice. Okay, let's move on to the shower slash wet room. Okay, so I'm pretty much mirroring the downstairs bathroom furnishings, so just with using the Soho pack, and I did have to look for a new sink. It doesn't completely match the Soho basin from downstairs, but I thought it was a good alternative given the space constraints that we have in this bathroom. A square mirror. Bit tricky when you're furnishing a room of this size. You're a bit too high. A mat, so you don't slip as you reach for the towel. Oh, you'll see here actually I've used the platform to elevate the shower compared to sinking it down in the ground floor, just for a bit of difference. Let's add you in, and where are you? The products. There would be fancy products in every bathroom in my house. Nice. And then, what did we forget? The towel rack. Might just pop you maybe here actually. A bit high. And last but not least, the toilet roll, because that would be a sin if I ever did make one, if I forgot that in this house. Are you a bit high as well? I think I'm doing what I did in the last part where I was freaking out over the height of a toilet roll. That works for me. And I don't think you really need like a blind or anything here. I mean, I imagine there would be other builds this way, but it's quite a skinny window. I'm sure you wouldn't be showing anyone anything. And this is neat and petite and just right. Okay, let's move on to the living space, I think. I'm thinking maybe of starting with the dining room, and then we'll move on to the living room. So let me just pick out some lovely bits, and I will be back with you very shortly. So I've made a start choosing some really nice things for the dining area. If you remember in the last part, we chose these Eames style chairs for the conversation table downstairs, and I'm bringing them up here just so they kind of playing with the industrial elements of this room, the details of the fence and the seamless windows. So I definitely would want a 6-seater, maybe to even house even more people. Be great entertaining space here. So Let's center it between the lights, and then I thought maybe the perfect opportunity to add a bit of artwork here. I think the height works just fine. This is from MCM, the abstract painting, and the colors really work in harmony with everything. Nice. And then I thought of maybe adding the bar from the Party Essential kit, which is really funny because I actually really don't like this kit. This is one of the only items from the kit that I really do like. And we really needed a minimal bar in the game for ages, so this really worked. And I'm happy with how that looks. Kind of makes sense for a kind of entertaining space. And this leaves a nice bit of room for a canvas, so I thought maybe we would choose that one together. Thinking something along the lines of it being abstract. No, not you, Party Essentials. What is this actually? Oh, it's a poster. Not in my dream home, thank you very much. I'm thinking of... I wonder if, actually, I can copy upstairs. Maybe just change the swatch if there's anything that would work. Kind of pink tones in here. Oh, perfect. I knew there was a tone in mind, a swatch in mind, sorry. That really works nicely in that space. And we'll dress this up, maybe with some extra details once I just place some of the rest of the furniture. A plant. I thought this is ideal space for it here. Just to fill up the gap. Make sure you're not touching anything. Lovely. And then I thought, where would I put all my fancy flatware? So I found Harry's Shut the Luck sideboard, and I've just dressed it with a plant and a little bit of detail here and there, just so it looks a bit more lived in. Now, I mentioned earlier I wanted to dress this bar, and I was thinking maybe of adding a candle. Maybe a candlestick, actually. Thinking maybe something minimal. Kind of works. Plays off the candles here. And then maybe a vase of some descript. It took me a little while to find this craft from the kitchen set, but I just wanted to add it as the final finishing detail for this bar because it contains whiskey, which is my favourite drink. And I've also added a decorative vase, and I thought maybe to finish the dining room area off, we'll add a pendant light. I found this one from the Shop the Luck collection. And it's really pretty. I know it's based on a real design. And it fits the space well. It mirrors kind of other pendant lights that we have in the house. Oh, you can see you're just off center. And because we have the skylight, we have this kind of natural beam that works across here, so it shouldn't be sticking through. But I'm really happy with this area, so let's get to work on breaking up this gigantic living room, shall we? Okay, so I've pulled some bits and I thought we'd make a start. I was trying to make sense of the space and just break it up maybe as I did in the first part with a rug. I've took the liberty of decorating some shelves with a few trinkets just to fill this space up. And I also found these cupboards, floating cupboards from the Copenhagen kit. And I thought this kind of works perfectly as a TV unit. Nothing too dramatic. And it works with the wood tones. Now you'll see here I've added kind of a very snazzy lamp and a audio vase, so to play music to this level. And I've also added a games console because Vin and I are actually big gamers. I mean, you know I'm playing The Sims now, but Vin really loves playing on the Xbox, so I thought maybe in the shared living room space he would appreciate it as well. And I've chosen this from The Sims actually. Oh no, it's not. It's from Charlie Pancake's kit, so I really like this portrait TV. There's so many swatches here actually that really work, but I thought the blue played off nicely as a contrast to the brown, and you know, it's a TV that doesn't look like a TV, so that wins in my book. And I was actually thinking to bring a bit of extra light here. Instead of having this marble sconce, I would bring a picture light, maybe not in this colour, just for a bit of like mood lighting more than anything. So when it's actually switched off, it kind of looks like a piece of art. I really like how that flows. nothing to copy paste and mirrored. Now, I did also address the coffee table because, again, I know what I'm like trying to find detail on camera. But some parts are from The Sims. So I've added this kind of basket of books and a huge candle, which would fill the room with probably my favorite scent, which is Ombre from Diptyque. And a few magazines. I love how this one's based on the ID magazine. I think that space just works well. The spacing works well with the coffee table. I wanted a kind of a bigger, squarer one, just for what I had in mind for the seating area, which actually is to have 2 armchairs at a slight angle. And I really love the design on these chairs from the living room kit. It's kind of tonal, the cream and the kind of off beige, which works with all the kind of colours that we've got going on in the room. And I'm thinking maybe instead of having a extra table here, we might have a standing light, because I love this idea of playing with lighting in an interior and having completely different styles, so more industrial, more softer, kind of Noguchi style. I was wondering maybe if we could pick one together, maybe like the floor light from the Stefan pack. That really works well actually, and it plays into this more metal one. Maybe I'll turn it down though because the gold's a bit too gold. Maybe just a black so it kind of seamlessly flows with the build. Yeah, I think I like that. And then I chose this as an accent chair actually, just for an extra bit of seating, but I love this really rich burgundy colour. I might just nestle you into the corner. It's from the Harry's Clean pack. I love that leather texture. It comes with some really nice swatches actually, but I didn't want too many browns or creams. And this kind of frames this area perfectly. And as for the sofa, I was really struggling trying to find one that felt comfortable but still kind of design led. And I came across Harry's Clean collection sofa, which worked perfectly. It looks so cushy, the texture looks really nice. And I'm not sure whether it's like a leather texture or not, but I thought it really worked with the rest of the furniture that we had. So the great thing about this one, it's modular, so you can just customize it to the shape that you want. Thinking maybe of adding another seat here and then finishing with an ottoman. So then there's this real nice, like, comfortable, casual, but also with the formal element as well. That's really nice. Now for this section, I was thinking of adding kind of a loungy kind of space with music and books and things like that. So I'm actually going to pick some things that might work for this area, and I will see you very shortly. Well, I found some really nice bits, particularly from the Soho pack. I've come across this lounge table that really works as an actual divider. I was trying to figure out what I could do in this space that didn't look too matchy with some sofas, and let's just get you out of the way. I really like how this piece adds a bit of formality to this room actually, given how low the sofa is in the background. And I've added a lovely bonsai tree for a bit of life into the room. And then in the same pack, I came across these lounge seatings, so ample opportunity to add some really beautiful art books in here. And the Sims should be able to get around. So it felt really nice flow to kind of go from the more casual to kind of an interesting reading, music listening space. And maybe controversially, I don't know, I've used some kitchen counters to create a sideboard, like a makeshift sideboard, and dressed it off camera. So let me just get those in. And just added a bit of detail with a framed, maybe I was thinking of like our old hometown Viennese or something like that. So I like that piece, and then added a little bit of sculpture, another candle, of course, and some lilies, which are both of our favourite flowers, and another record player, because I've actually dressed this is from the Clean collection as well, the bookshelf off camera with our vinyl collection. I've also continued on with the books here, so nice loungy area. And I found these really nice MCM stools. Thinking maybe of having 2 here. I get some better light so we can see Maybe the afternoon light's better. Might move you back a bit actually, so the spacing's not too cramped. And then I was thinking of adding a standing lamp here, and maybe not the same one that we've chosen for the living room area. Thinking something in this realm, so this kind of works. It's not from the same pack, I don't think, no. But I really like that kind of soft diffuse light in this area. Thinking maybe of choosing a brown swatch though. Oh, maybe not you. Yeah, it's really nice. And then, to finish things off, in this dream living room, I will add a really comfy chair. I'm thinking something not so as kind of formal as the ones that we've chosen for the living area. How about this one actually? It's a little bit different. Maybe put a jaunty angle. And then actually it's quite nice because it plays off the legs of the stools. Although I might change the shade. I'm wondering if we can go for a darker one. And then you can play in with the black and the neutral tones. That's really nice. It's kind of another like conversation pit really. Very happy with that space. See what it looks like in different lights. Amazing. Right, let's move on to the kitchen. So that took some time trying to figure out what kind of counter I wanted for the galley kitchen, but I've chosen Felix's Florence pack. I love the minimal frontage to this cabinet and the marble top, and I've chosen this kind of sagey, greeny, grey tile with a wood panelled accent wall. Thinking maybe nestling in some tall cabinets here, and then having 2 rows of counters down this way. So let's get the grid on firstly. Thinking maybe this is the most natural place to have the fridge. I was thinking maybe there as well, so maybe let's trial both. But let's just get in the counters first. So let's get you all the way down here. Get a corner piece. Oh, and this sink is actually from the Stefan pack. I did really like the Florence one, but I like how clean this is because it nestles into the marble. So let's continue the counters around here. It's quite a tight space, but I actually, for one of the references that I used, there was a galley kitchen, and I quite like the idea because I'm not too much of a cook myself. So this room really is not all for decoration, but I think it'll work for this kind of entertaining space. Now I'm going to be brave and try and use this crazy UI for the kitchen, just so everything's in one space, but I think there is a matching fridge to this. I found the matching fridge, which is great because it looks integrated, and I thought maybe I'd add some low shelves going across this part. I also noticed in this kit, does that look weird with the window? I think I can just get away with it. I don't think it's going through the glass. I also found in this kit there is some like splashback, like a wooden splashback. So I might add that here, even though it'll conceal most of the tiles. I think it added a bit of extra element to the wooden cabinets that we've got in. So let me just add those around. Yeah, that's just added a perfect finishing touch to the cabinets, which I'm happy with. It won't be too cluttered, I don't think, as with much of this house. And oh yes, I found the long, tall cabinet, sorry, just for this area, maybe for like a pantry and extra storage. Maybe let's add a bin because I'll end up forgetting it later on. This is my favorite bin now, actually, in the game. Maybe in that tone, actually. I think it came with an update. I just like the idea that it's got a lid. Like, none of the other ones really work for a kitchen scenario. So, yep, happy with that. So let's choose an oven. I'm thinking of one that's integrated in a black as well to play off the limestone flooring. I think that works. I've also added an integrated dishwasher, so it's all clean, and a bit of extra shelving here. I was thinking maybe of adding some plates and cups, which I will do off camera because that will take me forever. But let's just continue on with the main basis. Now, Vin loves his coffee, so I was thinking maybe of adding a coffee machine in the corner. Maybe it's something that's not too in your face. And a silver? That works. I kind of imagine everything would be like tucked away and very clean and minimal. And oh, this might be tricky because there's a galley kitchen getting in the space. Wanted to add some pans onto the wall actually. I've got some really nice CC from Pierre Sim's Woodland Ranch pack. Maybe adding a few variations of the pan here. Just get the better spacing actually. In between the grooves. Yeah, I think that works. Oh, and before I forget, let's add an extractor fan. Might just nestle you, so it's almost like you're part of the cupboard itself. That come in a black? Oh, it is a black. Yeah, that works. And I'm just gonna add a few extra details off camera, and I'll show you once I've picked some beautiful things. So in second thoughts, I thought we would decorate together just to share in the struggle. This isn't really a hack because literally everyone does this, but just take a counter off from the grid, and that way you can just easily position things yourself, freestyle. So that's just a bit of extra detail there. I've also added some flowers. I think it'd be really nice to change these every week for something new. And ignore the really ugly OMSP, but very useful shelf. And just added some extra details here. And a really nice abstract painting that plays in with these burgundy tones that are contrasting with this sagey grey kind of tile. Now to this beast, I thought let's struggle together on camera because it's always good to see things in the process. So I'm using this very useful shelf so you can place things. I usually just put it on the level it is. And then I think because this will probably snap to the counter, I'll have to take that away. But just to position things a little bit more naturally. Don't know if you'll snap or not there. Yep. Perfect. Oh yes, and these glasses as well. Just take you away. It's fine, it's just refining in the moment. Let's take you off. Oh. Are you going to be too close? God, Chris, that was terrible. I feel like that's still too close to the wall. Yeah, I'm actually going to do this off camera and I'll be right back. And there we have it. The inner Libra in me was completely screaming because I could not get it done. But I think that's just enough detail that we need. I'm going to take this top light away actually and just keep something quite moody in her, I think. I was thinking of maybe doing some under counter lighting. So maybe let's try that together as well. Gosh, where are the wall lights? I think actually weirdly I might use one of the picture lights. Just scatter it under here. Maybe let's just get this in first and then see if we can see it. I've perfected the lights. I've just moved them into the cabinets so they're hidden. And I've also added it beneath the shelving as well, just to illuminate the areas that need it. I think this kitchen turned out really well actually. It's minimal, but has a few details here and there. And this would be really useful to have as a pantry. So let's move on into the guest room. I've chosen some things off camera just to get a start with the kind of color palette and vibe. I've used the tool mod actually just to size up this blind because it's kind of an awkward window size, and also sized up the rug just so it's a bit more substantial. I thought maybe let's start first with the side table, and I had maybe a circular one in mind. I was just playing around with the shape before, and I think it kind of works with the squareness of everything else. And let's add some table lights. I've surprisingly chosen these lamps from the Get to Work pack, which I didn't think I would ever include in a build, but I like the simplicity of them actually, really work in this space. And then this little nook is kind of perfect for a kind of table, desks area for getting ready. I didn't want an extra PC in a guest room. Let me just try and figure out where everything is. I need something wooden, I'd say, in this dark tone. That kind of works actually. Okay, I found a chair. I'm thinking maybe I might darken it down though, not for kind of a matchy green, and just blend it in with the wood. This is also from the MCM pack. And then I've found a bit of artwork actually that I might mirror here, maybe in just a different colorway. I really love this kind of green and burgundy purples that play off with the colors that are in the room. So let's add one maybe over here actually, because I was playing with the light earlier and it's really pretty how it hits across this bed. Maybe let's just change up the colorway though. That kind of works actually. And let's just add a bit of detail to this desk area. I'm thinking of just adding maybe a plant or something and a lamp, because that would be kind of vital in this area. Something quite minimal like this actually. This is from the Snowy Scape kit, yeah. I think that's what works actually. Plays off with the greys that we've used on this lamp. Nice. I'll find a plant off camera. And then we'll need a bit of storage. So I'm thinking maybe here of adding some wardrobes and then a dresser. So I'm just going to choose those and I will be right back. Some developments have been made. I've chosen a dresser from the Stefan Pt.3 sim kit, I believe. Yep. And contrasted it with these David Apartment modular walk-in wardrobes. I really like the opacity with them. Kind of plays with that texture that we've got going on in this room. And I've just dressed the dresser with a bit of clutter and a vintage radio, so that'd be quite nice for guests to have some music in their room. And then instead of a plant, I just added a decorative dish here. And then I had in mind that it'd be quite nice to have like an extra seating area. So I found this really cool seat actually from How We Shot the Look. Just kind of a cool interior designer seat. It's a bit of a modern touch in here. And then I was thinking maybe of adding a bit of an extra plant on a stool though, so there's some variations in height. And then I think I might just finish this room off with some mirrors. I'm wondering if we could maybe mirror, pun intended, the one from downstairs, but maybe not a leaning one. So there's kind of consistency throughout the build. Not too high. Nice. And then something small on this wall. Maybe this one actually. Not in that tone. Darken it down. And I think this room is complete. Just got enough detail to not look too overcluttered, but still lived in. And I think rather excitedly, this is the entirety of the build complete as well. So let's go into a tour mode and I'll show you around the upper floor of what we've done. So this is the hallway. Nice bit of artwork here. And I've mirrored the doors, so it looks very professional. This is the least interesting room, but I still enjoy it. Nice. Into the guest room. I really like this room actually. If I was a guest, I'd be very happy in here. It looks very calming and relaxed. Love that shade of green. Into, oh, I will fix that when I put it up on the gallery. Into the galley kitchen. Really nice space. Into the dining room. Oh, let me just get the skylights on actually. There we go. Looks more professional. Really love how this space turned out. Into the living area. So it still feels casual, but also formal and put together. I really actually enjoy how I've split up this room because it was kind of an awkward shape really to work with. I mean, the afternoon light is so pretty in this room. And a reading, chilling out space. We do the top down for you guys so you can see. This is the roof, the first floor, and the ground floor. And I'll give you another view. I'm really happy with how this build turned out, and I hope you guys like it too. So I'm going to leave things on this shot before we get into the final tour, followed by a little segment to see my sim self and Vin enjoy this dream home. I thoroughly enjoyed this series and I hope you have too. Don't forget to like and subscribe and join me on Blue Sky at Curiosims. I'll also leave all the CC I've used in this part in the description box below so you can download this build on the gallery should you so wish. But thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!